Daisy Goes a Dancing is a great fingerstyle guitar piece by Pat Kirkley. He's a wonderful guitar player, and this is one of my favorite pieces that I get to play. The song has kind of a haunting feel to it, and Pat said that when he wrote the song he could envision a little girl dancing while he played it. Some of that sound comes from the special tuning, and I want to go first into how we tune to play this song. The string names from the low E string to the high E string will be D, A, D, E, A, D. Again, it'll be D, A, D, E, A, D. So let me show you how I tune my guitar, and you can certainly tune it any way that better suits you, but this is how I get into the tuning for Daisy Goes Dancing. Since our G string becomes an E note, what I do is use my high E string before I alter it and tune in unison my G string and my high E string by dropping the G string down. It's actually a minor third, so you have to take it down a whole step and a half step, and I get it to sound in unison with my high E string. So now my G string is altered to where I need it to be. Then I usually alter my B string by tuning it to my open A string, an octave up, but I try to get them to be in unison. So I take my B string down a whole step to where it matches my open A string. So now I have my G drop to an E, my B drop to an A. Now all I'll have to do is drop my two E strings to Ds. So I've got a D string, so I can easily drop my high E string a whole step and match it with an octave to my D string, and then normal drop D, where you would do the same thing with your low D. Your low D note, drop it down to a unison with your D string. So now I have my D, my A, my D, an E, an A, and a high D. Now you need to capo at the 2nd fret for this song, and that puts it right into the tuning that Pat plays the song in on the recordings. So I capo on the 2nd fret, and I'm ready to go. Usually I'll need to fine tune once I put the capo on to get the notes just where they need to be. But that's how we tune for Daisy Goes Dancing. That's sort of the introduction to Daisy Goes Dancing like I play it. The fingering on the left hand is pretty simple. I use my pinky finger with my guitar capoed at the 2nd fret. With the capo, I go up to the 7th fret, put my pinky down on the D string. Gives me a big fat unison sound. And all I really do is drop my 3rd finger on the low E string on the 7th fret, kind of alternate it in and out because I don't want the string ringing on that tone. So I have to pull it off. So that's the only left hand grip that I use. The pinky on the 7th fret of the D string and flopping in my 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the low E string. That's kind of the idea for the introduction. Let's go from the introduction to kind of the verse of the song, or sort of the main theme of the song. And I play that by keeping my pinky where it was from the introduction on the 7th fret of the D string. Okay, let's look at that phrase. It's really not that difficult on the left hand. I keep my pinky anchored, and then I use my 1st finger on the B string on the 4th fret to hammer on and pull off to kind of get the sound I want there. And then there's a little hammer on the G string, 2nd fret, and then I move my pinky down 2 frets to the 5th, and the same idea again, 5th fret and 2nd fret with my 1st finger on the B string. And then it pulls off, and then it pulls off of the 3rd fret of the G string, and then it kind of slides back up to the 7th fret. So let me play that for you up to tempo a couple times and then try to slow it down. Okay, that leads us to the next little section, which is kind of neat. I use my pinky finger and my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, and then up here on the G string. And I kind of hammer, and then a slide. So I'm going to hammer onto the 3rd and slide to the 5th, and I'm going to do the same thing on the low E string and the D string from the 5th to the 7th. So it's kind of what my left hand's doing. So let's try to put all that together. Okay, and you'll notice that when I kind of use a little strum pattern, and you can do this however you would want to do it, but I use my middle finger, sort of the nail on my middle finger, as a pick when I want that kind of a strum effect. So let's put that together one more time. Then we're going to repeat.